It's natural for us NFL fans to get excited anytime our team drafts in the first 3 rounds. After that, who really cares? But some of the greatest NFL quarterbacks of all time were drafted extremely late, and nobody could have predicted that these guys would become legends. But they did. I'm DeQwan Young, and today we take a look at the 10 best quarterback draft steals of all time. Number 10, Ken Anderson. The Cincinnati Bengals took a chance on Anderson, selecting him in the 3rd round, 67th overall, in 1971. All Anderson did was win the 1981 MVP and Offensive Player of the Year awards, while leading the league in passing yards twice. Anderson was named to 4 Pro Bowls and is the Bengals' all-time leader in passing yards and touchdowns with 32,838 and 197 respectively. Number 9, Brian Sipe. The Cleveland Browns always seem to draft the biggest bust in the 1st round, but taking Brian Sipe with the 330th overall selection in 1972 turned out to be a selection for the ages. Sipe was on the Browns from 1974 to 1983, winning the 1980 league MVP after tossing 4,132 yards and 30 touchdowns. He finished with 154 touchdowns and 23,713 passing yards. That's a pretty impressive resume for a 330th selection. Number 8, Joe Theismann. The Miami Dolphins were actually the team that drafted Theismann, taking him 99th overall in 1971, but he spent 3 years in the NFL before joining the Washington Redskins in 1974. Theismann played with Washington from 1974 to 1985, leading them to a Super Bowl XVII victory. The 2-time Pro Bowler also won the 1983 NFL MVP and Offensive Player of the Year award. It's a shame a broken leg ended his career, because Theismann would have likely won more titles and added more to a pretty remarkable career. Number 7, Dan Fouts. The Pro Football Hall of Famer somehow fell to the San Diego Chargers, 64th overall in 1973. Fouts spent 15 great seasons in San Diego, turning this longtime loser into a more relevant squad during his career. He was named to 6 Pro Bowls, won the 1982 NFL MVP, and led the NFL in passing yards 4 times. Named to the 1980s All-Decade team, Fouts finished with 254 touchdowns and 43,040 passing yards. Now that's a draft steal. Number 6, Fran Tarkenton. Tarkenton was drafted 29th overall in 1961 by the Minnesota Vikings. That would be a 1st-round selection today, but Tarkenton was actually a 3rd-round draft choice back in those days. He put the Vikings on the American football map, leading them to NFC Championship victories in 1973, 74, and 76. Though they fell short of winning a Super Bowl, Tarkenton won the league MVP and Offensive Player of the Year awards in 1975. The 9-time Pro Bowler and Hall of Famer finished with 342 touchdowns and 47,003 passing yards. That's a career for the ages, even though Tarkenton wasn't drafted as early as he deserved to be. Number 5, Roger Staubach. The Cowboys desperately sought a franchise quarterback, and they didn't think that Roger Staubach was the answer at all. He's a 10th-round draft choice. Does that usually sound like a franchise legend? Well, Staubach didn't need long to prove himself. The 6-time Pro Bowler led Dallas to a pair of Super Bowls in the 70s, and he's a huge reason why the Cowboys are referred to as America's team all this time later. With 153 touchdowns and 22,700 passing yards, Staubach rightfully earned his place in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Number 4, Bart Starr. Though we're pretty sure the Green Bay Packers didn't think Starr would amount to much, since they selected him in the 17th round, 200th overall. But boy, did Bart Starr ever come through in Green Bay. All the Hall of Famer did in his career was lead the Packers to 5 NFL championships and 2 Super Bowl victories, while taking home the 1966 league MVP. Starr tossed 24,718 yards and 152 touchdowns in his career. Number 3, Johnny Unitas. Because Unitas played so long ago, many folks of today really don't have any idea of how dominant he was. He was drafted in the 9th round, 102nd overall, in 1955. But the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't have faith in him, and he wound up cementing his legend with the Baltimore Colts. The first pure pocket passer in American football history, Unitas was a 3-time league MVP and won a trio of NFL championships with the Colts. He took home a Super Bowl championship with them as well. Unitas finished with 40,239 passing yards and 290 touchdowns. All of that for a 102nd pick. Not too bad, Johnny. Number 2, Joe Montana. We've said before that we believe Joe Cool is the best quarterback of all time. Being drafted in the 3rd round with the 82nd pick in 1979 changed NFL history forever. Though nobody knew it at the time. This Joe Montana guy that nobody thought highly of in 1979 led the 49ers to 4 Super Bowls, forming a dynasty in the 80s. Montana also took home 2 league MVPs and 3 Super Bowl MVPs. Number 1, Tom Brady. How did the most accomplished quarterback in NFL history manage to fall to the 199th overall pick in the 6th round during the 2000 draft? We have no idea. All we can say is that Brady made 31 other teams pay the price for ignoring his talents. The 2-time league MVP has 5 Super Bowl rings and owns plenty of the most meaningful quarterback stats. A 6th round draft choice? Wow. Who do you think is the greatest quarterback draft steal ever? Join us in the comments below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps us out a ton and we truly appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to Total Pro Sports though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.